Thank you for tuning into another episode of Empower Her. I am Cynthia Day.
And I'm Maria Day.
And together we own and operate a luxury residential and commercial real estate company called Trusted Results Realty Group. Find us on www.trustedresultsrealty.co, where you can find every episode of Empower Her on our website as well as on YouTube. And please make sure that you go to our Facebook page, Empower Her, as well. So I shared with us earlier that you empower the women, that you are raising to understand that they are a queen, they're not little princesses. Please tell us about how you empower your girls with this, with queenhood.
Yeah, well, first of all, a princess is someone who is in need. A princess is someone who is, I want to say prissy or sassy, or whereas like a queen just owns who she is. And these things are her rights as a woman. She has a right to stand tall. She has a right to be on the side of her king. And her king recognizes her power and allows her, as she is allowing him in that authority and walking out. But I think a princess is helpless. And without a king and a queen, a princess needs something. She's with void. And so we just have taught both our sons and our daughters that they are kings and queens in this world, and they need to carry themselves that way. There's great responsibility that falls on a king and a queen. There is very little responsibility that falls on a princess. They get to be reckless. True. They get to do, no, we don't get to, because there is a huge mantle laid on our family, and you need to rise up to whom you are called to be and to show up in the world very differently than other children, other adults, there's just a huge mantle, and we're passing on a massive legacy that's way bigger than dollar amounts. Mm-hmm. Therefore, you need to be raised up in a way that you can carry that mantle, because a princess will be crushed, but a queen will carry it with pride, and she will carry it with elegance, and that feminine side is so important to me. I don't want them to lose that. I don't want them to do what I did through my early 20s, which was I really jumped into the masculine and I empower women all the time, but I'm not a feminist. I truly believe that my king empowers me and I empower him. And so, and there's nothing wrong if you are a feminist. It's just not where I sit. But I want my children to understand, as kings, they hold a right. They are empowering, but that their right doesn't squish down their queen. And they are to search for their queen. And same with my daughters. They have an important role, and they're not to search for someone who will reign over them. A king doesn't reign over a queen. Right? But they are equal partners, and they are ruling their world. And so that's
so beautiful.
That's how we raise them. We want them to look for someone who's going to have that same understanding and that same
absolutely.
onus. And if you don't know what you're looking for, you'll never catch it.
And if you're not being who you're looking for, you won't attract it either.
Or becoming. I like the word becoming.
Okay.
Because being is saying, I got all my crap together, I'm never learning. I'm done, I've arrived.
Oh, I like that.
So we're becoming. I didn't overnight become a success. It took time, right? I wasn't a success. Kind of like what we were talking about before. In my 20s, starting this company, I was very insecure. I was very unsure of myself. Even shifting and pivoting from that company to this company, I was very unsure. Was I making the right decision? I'm successful over here. Why would I do that? Nobody had ever painted, hey, you can be an entrepreneur and own multiple businesses. And so that's where I love the word becoming. Because again, you never really truly arrive, because just about the time you do, sorry, I just had a memory. But just about the time you do is about the time it's time to leap, and something embarrassing happens to you because, you arrived.
Oh, what was your memory? I gotta know now.
So, when you're a little girl and you play like you're an adult, you step into big girl panties, right? So when we first got into real estate, we were flipping properties. And so I went to a Lowe's and was negotiating contractor discounts. Not that I knew anything about negotiating contractor discounts, but I was going to do it. So I put on my power outfit, an all white dress, and I put on this super expensive, at the time, what I would consider super expensive jacket. And I went to Lowe's and I negotiated, and I got 20% off of everything in the store. I was so proud of myself, and I walked out. And remember, I owned another company too. So I go back to doing that company, and I drive to one of my clients' homes. And as I'm leaving, she's like, I need to tell you something. I don't want you to be embarrassed, but you have Christmas tree underwear on. And you're wearing all white. So this whole time I was trying to be this professional woman who owned a real estate company and all the things. And I felt like $1 million. I really did. It all dwindled down to Christmas trees. P.S. It was May.
Yeah.
Look, you make a lot of mistakes along the way, and you can either judge yourself for it or you can have fun with yourself.
I vote for having fun with yourself,
Amen.
even through all the pain.
Yes. It hurts sometimes.
Yes.
And even like when I walked away from my other company, part of why I didn't want to walk away initially was because we had about $21,000 worth of credit card debt from that company. And I was like, I have to close out my inventory. I have to do all these things before I can walk. And one day I was just sitting there in prayer and meditation and going, this is so overwhelming. That's so much debt for me because we were not debt people. And I don't know how to walk through this and I can't walk away, but I know it's my time to walk away. Like I know I need to leave the past behind. And I just remember being so freaked out about it. And in that prayer, in my heart, I heard, this is the least expensive education you could ever have paid for. You learned so much from owning and operating that company. It's okay to walk away because people go to school for years, getting hundreds and thousands of dollars of debt, and they get a $2,000, $3,000 a month job. Look at what you've learned over here. This was your education. This was that college you never completed. And now let's go apply it over here and use the systems and the things that as a businesswoman that you learned to then empower yourself over here.
That's huge.
So I was able to walk away, and then 6 months later, through my other company, through my health coaching company, I was able to pay off all of that debt. We had zero debt.
That's beautiful.
Zero.
And you were ready to leap into your
The next thing.
Yeah.
But that was a leap for me because I had to let go. I had to step out of that poverty mindset and jump into like, it's going to be okay. Like, and that's when the pillars came up for us. We call them pillars. Seven streams of income came up for us because it was like, this pot is juicy. It's so good. It's so good that, to think that, hey, I need to look in other places to shift my wealth, put myself in a place of like growth mindset and to challenge myself in new ways, but take the education from each of these lessons and begin to apply them. So no Christmas trees under white clothes.
We learned that very valuable lesson.
Very valuable lesson.
That is hilarious.
So bringing it back to having it all, I truly see that this is your superpower, right? And a lot of times, our superpower, I have believed that, our pain is usually derived, or our purpose is usually derived from our pain, right?
Sure.
And, that purpose that we have in life usually comes from obtaining our superpower from the pain that we went through, right? So explain to me how you are able to have it all, and how you obtained the superpower of being able to literally have it all in each pillar of your life and give everything that you've got to the most important pillars in your life. I'm trying to say it in a way that makes sense. What's your story behind it? How did you reach this conclusion? How did you obtain the superpower?
Well, I think I just figured out life was short. And I think when I hit that, it was all of a sudden like a shift or a pivot had to happen. And I knew I was here for a reason. I didn't know what that reason was or what that looked like, but I was willing to lace up, if you will, every single day, show up and look for where I was supposed to be and what I was supposed to do. And then just being so intentional, and then that place of allowance that I was talking about, like allowing things in. This last year, we hired a coach, and it was honestly, like at the beginning of the year, super mind-blowing money to pay someone to coach you. Like, this is crazy. Like, people pay this to, like, we need to take that leap. And this is where I feel that's necessary. And in that allowance, in that seed of faith that we put down, what transpired is, and I was thinking about this morning, I'm a 5 a.m. girl. So like my body just turns on at 5 a.m. So at about 6:50 this morning, when I was still in bed, which is not my normal, I could hear my nanny outside getting the kids ready for school, doing all the things. And that's one of the things that's come through this year is this, like, hey, you don't have to be all, and you need alone time, you need exercise time, you need all these things. And in order to be a rock star in your relationship with your children, you need to start with a full cup, not an empty cup. And we were having like, get your clothes on, we gotta go to school, have you taken a shower, have you brushed your teeth, have you done it? And so one of the things she suggested to me was like, why not be an allowance? You have a nanny. Why not just shift her hours to where she gets the kids up and does those things? And then I sit down with normally I'll sit down with a cup of coffee and just chat with my kids while they're eating the breakfast that she made them.
That's beautiful.
Right?
That is
But being in
beautiful.
that place of allowance of like, yeah, that makes sense.
You know what's so cool about having a coach? Well, I mean, like, it's okay. Like, what's really cool is that I'm like a bow and arrow, right? It's a short distance going back, but when you release it, it's further than the pullback, than the shortness. So it's like the short thing to the long thing. And like having it all is, well, how far of a scope can you see? And what can you see in your scope? Yeah. And what you see in your scope is your all, until you have a coach come and be like, how about go here? Yeah. And then you go, boom, oh, I could have that too. And then they're like, well, now, and then you go to that adventure, and it just keeps taking you to these different points.
Exactly.
And then you're like, oh, that's all. So what is all in my scope that I can have?
It's beautiful.
Until you have someone, an outside force. It's kind of like outer space, right? You know, you have a comet coming, and then you have this outside, boom, and then it changes your. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's type your nose, girl. But it's very important. Like, you know, these external forces can either put you on the path of having it all, or like gravity, right? Or there could be gravity along the way. So, but yeah. So tell us more about your business. How does your business help women defy gravity?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, what a freakishly amazing question.
Well, I will say, one, we help them to put their body in prime. So ultimately, at the end of the day, a lot of women base their worth on how they look in a mirror, and we shift and pivot that thinking. So it's not about what you look like in a mirror. It is more about, how are you feeling? What energy do you have? Are you sleeping well? Are you getting enough water in your day? How's your skin? How is, like, it's about whole health.
Dehydrated.
Yeah. Like, most people don't drink enough water. Most people don't eat consistently. They choose based on emotion. They drink too much wine. They indulge in chocolate one too many times. And it's like someone said to me the other day, well, first of all, I get paid to stay healthy. So that's like, that's epic right there. Huge motivation. But the truth is, someone said to me, how is it that 11 years later, you're still healthy? And I was like, because I've set these parameters in place. I travel every 2 weeks because my mind chases adventure. I need that adventure thrill, that fun, that time with just one kid or with my husband or as a whole. So every 2 weeks I travel. Well, in the last month, I've been in Cancun at all inclusives for two different times. And most people would go, I'm going to Cancun, I'm going to get sloshed, and I'm going to eat all this terrible food. I'm like, I'm going to Cancun. I want to have adventure. I want to feel amazing the whole time. I want to be clear. I want to actually remember what happened, right? I want to enjoy the sunshine. I want to do so my mindset has been shifted. And so what we do for women is multifold. One, we help them get their health in order. We recreate what are they chasing after in their health versus what are they running away from.
Those the details.
Yeah, but it's a complete pivot. Because most of us women, specifically women, and not that men don't walk through this, but specifically women, we beat the tar out of ourselves. We are the worst critic for ourselves. And so we know exactly what we don't want. We just don't know what we do want. Mm-hmm. And when you can shift that mindset and you can help these women think differently, then all of a sudden it's like, well, what do I want to create in my health? I mean, I was a size 20. I didn't know a size 2 was even possible in my body. When I was little, I was overweight. My whole life I was overweight. I rode the roller coaster. I never believed that it was possible. I never believed that I would be able to chase fitness because I was always working out so that I wouldn't be fat. Not doing fitness because I wanted to conquer the next ride. I wanted to be the best that I could be. That I want a six pack, dang it. Like those are the things that I think, like that shift. So one, we help women in that way. Two, we help women monetize either weight loss or being healthy and create new possibilities, but also we pay it forward. And so not only, and that's really when I came into this company, I lost 65 pounds, but then 10 pounds into it, I had friends saying, what the heck are you doing? How are you doing this? I want to do this too. That's when my mind went, ooh, there's opportunity here. And so then I helped them. In turn, they melted away and all their friends wanted to know what they were doing. So then they began to help their friends and they melted away. And next thing I know, we've helped so many people get healthy, build businesses, create incomes, walk away from their careers. Husbands come home with their wives. You guys, I've been pretty clear about how I feel about a king and a queen should rule their domain. And to rule it together is epic. And so we've helped a lot of people do that. And that's been, for me, it's brought relationships together. It's created more abundance. Again, along that giving line, we've helped women realize, hey, this is where I want to give. This is the passion, the thing that I'm passionate about. See, I'm passionate about adoption because 3 of our kids are adopted from Ethiopia, but not everybody's passionate about Ethiopia. Not everybody's passionate about clean water. Not everybody's passionate about how children become orphans in the first place. Can we solve some of those world problems? That's my shtick, right? That's my thing. So I love that, and I'm gonna put all my money here. But if you're someone who's mad passionate about dogs and animals and that kind of stuff, if I can help you create income in the things that you're passionate about, and I can teach you how, then guess what? I can go solve world problems here, and you're gonna solve world problems here. And pretty soon, all us women are gonna rule the world because we each put our money where we need it to. But that takes money, right? Absolutely. That takes earning. That takes success. That's not being afraid of being successful. It's not being afraid of being wealthy. It's saying, I understand my wealth has power and that power will change the world.
Absolutely. All right, guys, thank you for another episode of Empower Her. And
comment below, queen, I'm a queen.
You guys, hey, Gina, can you tell our audience on where they can find you, what website and social media handles they can find you at?
The best place to find me is on Facebook, Gina Echols. I'm sure we could put a link in the chat. That's a lot to spell.
Is that your business or?
Yep, that's the best place to find me.
Okay, cool. Awesome, guys. Thanks for watching another episode of Empower Her. Okay, bye, guys.
Bye.